Hi, this is Gwen Foster. You're probably wondering why I'm sitting here with an empty orange bowl. Well, Hannah Kroger said that if you will want to do a home urine test for fungus, that if you urinate in a plastic bowl and then wrap it with saran wrap and let it sit in your refrigerator overnight, you can do a home test for fungus. And fungus is the precursor to cancer. It's always on people's minds on what they can do to prevent cancer, and this is a good, easy at-home test for you to try. And if you urinate in the bowl and then let it sit overnight with saran wrap, the next morning, if there's any kind of waxy ring, like there would be after making a stew or soup from scratch, then that's a sign that your body has candida. So super easy to do. Urinate in a plastic bowl, cover it with saran wrap, put it in the fridge overnight, and then next morning check it. Now, if it's just urine and there's no waxy buildup, then you know you're good. But if there is any, then you should definitely do work towards candida. I just posted another video on Himalayan salt soleil. That's one of my favorite choices for candida cleansing. I think I want to add a story about why I love Himalayan salt so much. And this has to do with a guy in Houston that's also a naturopath. He sees clients. This is a pretty crazy story, but I share this a lot at workshops when the topic of candida is coming up. But about 12 years ago, I mean, I've known him forever. About 12 years ago, he comes into my office. He always has some kind of experiment or things that he's trying, and he has this Pyrex dish, one of the bigger ones, and there's this thing in it that looks like a large chicken breast or turkey breast. It's meaty, it's opaque, like kind of pinkish, it has a firm texture. I really thought it was chicken or turkey, and I was like, what is that? And he says it's a sliver of kombucha that was fed 1 cup of sweet tea per month. And I was like, what? So I'm looking at this thing, like, it made me never want to have kombucha. I don't have a personal opinion about kombucha, except I'm not going to drink it after I saw this home experiment. And because it started out as a sliver, and 1 cup of sweet tea per month made it grow into this massive thing. And I was like, wow. Now, I always, before that, being a naturopath, you always hear about candida. If you're in this world, a long time ago, there was body ecology diet. A lot of people think everyone has candida. I agree that a lot of people do. I don't think it's everyone's biggest problem. But I saw this thing and I was like, wow, that's a solid mass. That's a meaty texture. It made sense to me a lot later when the guy that wrote the book, Cancer as a Fungus, was touring in the US. I got to hear him speak in Phoenix, and he showed like pathology and photographs of tumors that had been removed from the body. And a tumor, and you think cancer, you're not thinking fungus, right? Because no one says you have a fungus growth. They say you have a something sarcoma or something melanoma. They're not saying fungus, okay? No one ever says that with cancer. But this Roman oncologist was going around. He has a great book called Cancer as Fungus, and he showed these masses, and this was after the home experiment Dr. Mann showed me, and I was like, wow, okay, that backs that up, because he showed these fleshy, meaty, pinkish things. Once all the blood and everything was rinsed off, it's a mass. It looks like the thing that I saw in this Pyrex dish. So anyway, the more interesting part of this is that Dr. Mann didn't feed this thing for months. He gave it no more sweet tea. He just kept it moist. So this kind of also goes against the whole theory of if you just don't feed anything to candida, it will go away. Incorrect. This thing did not shrink 1 milligram. It was the same size after months of getting no sugar. Now, how many Americans eat no sugar? Like nothing in their coffee, nothing in their, cereal, their bread turns into sugar, their sweets, their alcohol. I mean, we have sugar all around us. We have a ton of sugar we're getting. But people that are on very strict candida diets, they wonder why after being on a strict candida diet a year or two, and they eat one thing, one tortilla, and everything flares back up again. And it's because it never went away. So I think it's naive to think that just if you starve it, it's going to go away, because it doesn't. I can promise you, I saw this experiment myself. So anyway, then he has the bright idea that he's going to dissect this thing that he's grown and put it into separate dishes, and then apply different well-known remedies and herbs for Candida to this fungus that he's made over time. And the thing that was most effective was the Himalayan salt. And he said it was way more effective. He said some common things like pau d'arco, quabark, and others had almost no effect. So I'm not saying that they're not helpful. Maybe like if someone has a yeast infection or something that's like a more acute problem, but I'm just going to say that I don't think it's super effective when getting rid of Candida. I've since that time, I have been sold on the benefits of Himalayan salt. And I've also been sold, there's a book called Water and Salt that came out a long time ago. It really promotes all the benefits of salt for healing. It's a really great book, and I recommend you check it out. I mean, it's been around at least 20 years. But for first aid, for chronic health issues, you just can't beat salt for its benefits and its healing abilities. It's very cost effective, compared to other things. So I really can't say enough about, if you have any symptoms, or if you even specifically have cancer, or you want to prevent cancer, do the at-home test. And one more thing I'll say is that the guy that wrote Cancer is a Fungus, his main protocol, just so you know, without reading the whole book, is they inject baking soda into the tumor site, which is a very really non-invasive technique that doesn't have any side effects, except I guess baking soda also kills the fungus. That makes sense to me too, because baking soda is very alkalizing. I'm not sure why. I don't remember if Dr. Mann tried baking soda at the time. So I would just say that this might be something you want to try on your own as a home experiment. I saw it for myself. I'm going to keep promoting Himalayan salt for its health and healing abilities. And do get a plastic bowl. That's all you need. Everybody has a plastic bowl at home. Okay, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe.